A dictionary is a data type that holds key-value pairs. These key-value pairs are called items. You'll sometimes hear dictionaries referred to as associative arrays, hashes, or hash tables. Dictionaries are created using comma-separated items between curly braces. The item starts with a key, is then followed by a colon, and is concluded with a value. The format is dictionary name equals, open curly brace, a key, colon, a value, comma, the next key, colon, the next value, and so forth, and then finally ends with a curly brace. If you'd like to create an empty dictionary, simply use the dictionary name equals open curly brace and then the close curly brace. Items in a dictionary can be accessed by key. To do so, enclose the key in brackets immediately following the dictionary name. In the example on your screen, we create a dictionary and assign its contents to the context variable. This dictionary has two items. The first item has a key of Jason with a value of 555-0123. The second item has a key of Carl, and its value is 555-0987. In order to access the value associated with the key, put the key inside brackets immediately following the dictionary name. On the second line of code on your screen, you can see that the Jasons_phone variable contains the value associated with the key of Jason in the contacts dictionary. Likewise, on the third line, the Carls_phone variable will contain the value associated with the Carl key in the contacts dictionary. The last two lines of code here on the screen simply print those phone numbers to the screen. Not only can you access values by key, you can also set values by key. In the second line of code on your screen, we set the value associated with the Jason key in the contacts dictionary to be 555-0000. Next, we extract that value and store it in the Jasons_phone variable. And the last line of code prints that new value to the screen. You can add new items to a dictionary through assignment. As you can see, the first line of code, we have two items in our dictionary. The keys are Jason and Carl. If we want to add a key of Tony to the dictionary, we simply enclose Tony in brackets, followed by the dictionary name, which in this case is contacts, and then assign it a value, which is 555-0570. On the third line, we just print the contacts to the screen, and you can see that indeed, Tony was added to the dictionary. Now we have three keys, Jason, Carl, and Tony. Finally, we print the length of the contacts dictionary. The len function also works on dictionaries, just like it does on lists, and it reports the number of items within the dictionary. You can also remove items from the dictionary. You can do this by using the del statement. You simply supply the dictionary name, followed by the key you want to delete within brackets, and pass that to the del statement. In this example, we delete the item that is associated with the Jason key in the contacts dictionary. You can see we start out with two items, we delete the Jason item, and then when we print the dictionary to the screen, indeed Jason has been removed, and all we're left with is the Carl key and associated value in the dictionary. The values stored in a dictionary do not have to be of the same data type. In the example on your screen, the value for the Jason key is a list, while the value for the Carl key is a string. You might have noticed that the creation of the contacts dictionary looks slightly different in this example. When assigning the items to the context dictionary, additional spaces were used to improve readability. As long as the syntax is followed, Python will ignore the extra spaces in this case. In this example, we have one key value pair, or one item per line in the context dictionary. This makes the code easy to read. Finally, at the bottom of your screen, there are 4 print statements which print out the data, and you can see that the list associated with the Jason key was printed to the screen, while just the string associated with the Carl key was printed to the screen. Accessing the value associated with the key in a dictionary acts in the exact same way as if you were working with that value directly. For example, let's use a for loop for all of Jason's phone numbers in the list. Here you can see that the print statement was run against each one of the items in the list and is displayed to the screen. If you want to know if a certain key exists in a dictionary, you can use the value in dictionary name.keys syntax. If the value is a key in the dictionary, true is returned. If not, then false is returned. First, we start out by creating the contacts dictionary. Next, we use an if statement. If the if statement is true, the code block associated with it will be executed. If not, it will be skipped. In this example, the first if statement is true since the JSON key does in fact exist in the contacts dictionary. The second if statement is false because the Tony key is not in the dictionary. Thus, that code block following that statement does not get executed. Since the value associated with the JSON key is a list, you can act on it just like a list. So accessing index 0 of the list associated with the JSON key in the contacts dictionary returns the first value in that list. Here is the output of the execution of that program. Just like we expected, the first item in the list associated with the JSON key in the contacts dictionary is printed to the screen. The values dictionary method returns a list of values in the dictionary. Use the value in list syntax to determine if the value exists in the list. If the value is in the list, true is returned, otherwise false is returned. In this example, the value of 555-0987 is in the dictionary, so true is returned. One format for looping through items in a dictionary is for key variable in dictionary name. The code block that follows that for statement will be executed for every item in the dictionary. To access the value of the item in the for loop, use the pattern of dictionary name followed by the key variable name in brackets. It's very common to name dictionaries using a plural noun such as contacts. The typical format for the for loop uses the singular form of the dictionary name as the key variable. For example, for contact in contacts or for person in people. Unlike lists, dictionaries are unordered. The for loop guarantees that all of the items in the dictionary will be processed. However, there is no guarantee in which order that they'll be processed. In the example on your screen, we simply loop through the contacts dictionary and print out the value associated with each key. You can also use two variables when defining a for loop to process items in a dictionary. The first variable will contain the key, while the second one will contain the value. In the example on your screen, the person variable will be assigned the key from the contacts dictionary, while the phone_number variable will be assigned the associated value. Note that this code is functionally equivalent to the previous example. Since values in a dictionary can be anything, you can nest dictionaries. In this example, names are the keys for the contact dictionary, while phone and email are the keys used in the nested dictionary. Each person in this contact list has a phone number and an email address. Pay close attention to the location of colons, question marks, commas, and braces. Using additional white space when coding these types of data structures can help you better understand the data. If, for example, you want to know Jason's email address, you can retrieve that information using contacts followed by the JSON key in brackets, followed by the email key in brackets. The code on your screen is a continuation of the code on the previous screen. It loops through the contacts dictionary and prints out the phone number and email address for each person in the contacts dictionary.